Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Fighting Spinal here on the It's a Rap Sports Network, with your boy Matty B on the call, and I have the, once again, dubious honor to report a Phillies loss in a lot of ways, and we're going to get into some of the ways that I think it's not a good game, man. Just a real, like, one of those games that we've been far too accustomed with. The offense sort of got off to a slow start against Tyler Phillips, but of all people, but they rallied, and then they had a chance late after Schwarber knocks in the fourth run. Bryce Harper weakly grounds out, and that's the ball game. And I guess the two top stories that I want to go into with on this Sunday afternoon, and big day on the network, big day in the sports world as the NFL season is fully upon us right now. But the two things I want to talk about the most is, of course, the loss potentially of Trey Turner, who came up gimpy after that weird play late where there was and again, I credit myself in knowing the rules pretty well, and I really kind of weird about this whole thing. The ball that was grounded out to short and then thrown back to first, and the ball went beyond the first baseman and came to a rest up on top of the ledge by the stands, right by the net. It kind of that little gap between the net and the stands. And it kind of stood there and stopped. The ball did not bounce back. The ball didn't carry him. It got caught. Now, before you go crazy, obviously I'm not privy to the grounds rule meeting at the beginning of the game. I don't know what was determined to be out of play or in play. Every ballpark is different. But the umpires who initially called it dead, as you can see the umpire raising his arms up in the air, killing the play. Then the Marlins challenged the rule that it was not a dead ball, and the rule was overturned, or the ruling was overturned, and then they gave Bryson Stott third base, which, again, that is not what the rule is, unless they're saying that I know there is a rule that says if the umpire erroneously kills a play, then you do advance the lead runner. But just really a befuddling situation in that whole application of the rule. That whole thing was weird. But then the biggest news of that was that Trey Turner essentially walked off the field because he knew he was hurt. And how deep is that going to go, and how much of an impact is that going to have on the Phillies? And what does that mean with potentially bringing somebody up, or, I don't think Armando Sosa can be your answer at shortstop going the duration of this season, if that has to be the case, and as well as into the postseason. What does that also do to the leadoff spot? And God forbid they put Kyle Schwarber back up there. So this game, it's a loss in the scoreboard. It's a loss in the scoring column. But I think it has bigger ramifications, and I hope it doesn't. But I think this could be a one of those moments you look back on and say, yeah, I remember that. It's when the season turned to crap. But the Phillies lose tonight 5-4. And Bryce Harper is the other news story. He gets picked off of second base in one of the stupidest plays that I've seen ever, where there's nobody forcing him off second. He decides to go way too off the bag. There's a line drive to the back of second base, and he's out in no man's land and gets double off second base. Just stupid. Once again, Bryce Harper and his lack of fundamental baseball on display for all to see, as well as his anemic offense, again, sort of with the game opportunity to tie the game. 300 million reasons why Bryce Harper should have hit a single there, and he just taps out, and that's it. So I've lost all faith and confidence in Bryce Harper. He's home run or bust, and I think we got bamboozled on that deal, because Bryce Harper's, at this point in this situation and at this sort of evolution of his Phillies career, is almost like an automatic out these days. And again, I ask you, if you had the ability, and maybe the Phillies are potentially going to cross this bridge this offseason, But if you're in a situation and you're the Phillies, and the only way you can retain Kyle Schwarber is getting rid of Bryce Harper in order to clear up the cap or to clear up the salary, to make some room in so you don't completely bust the luxury tax. I get it. There's no cap in baseball. But if you had to basically pick or choose one or the other, are you sending Bryce Harper out and keeping hold of Kyle Schwarber? Because I don't really know what Bryce Harper is providing this team, and I haven't known for quite some time. Again, I cite the end of the 2022 season as sort of his epochs in Philadelphia, and ever since then, it's been a slow, steady decline for him. So Bryce Harper involved in some key moments in today's game. On the negative side, Trey Turner goes down with, I hope not, a season-ending injury. Looked like that. Obviously, it's probably a hammy. And then you got the pitching performance of Taijuan Walker. Not good, not bad, not $18 million a year, but serviceable. And once again, the offense sort of kind of too little too late as the Marlins were throwing a bullpen game today. Tyler Phillips, that's that Tyler Phillips. So I have his rookie card. I don't know why I'm keeping hold of that, but I do have it. And Tyler Phillips befuddled the Phillies, and then about 9 other pitchers came along and did the same thing. So 5-4, Phillies lose today. Do get 5 or 2 out of 3 for the series, and it's it's positive, right? We're gonna hit we're gonna hit it hard tomorrow as we're gonna start a 4-game set with the Mets, and that's what everyone's been waiting for. I know that's what I've been waiting for a while. But you would have liked to have had more momentum coming out of this game. I think, what was the Mets score today? I haven't been looking, so let me see. Let me look. So the Mets are not even on here. What? Oh, there they are. The Mets lost. Yeah. So the Mets lose. Phillies with an opportunity to go and decrease that magic number to 12. Now I think it's 13. So you had that opportunity. And now you have an opportunity against the Mets. Still, it's still in front of us, and we can still put them down. But just sort of one of those games where you just walked away thinking more could have happened here. Wasted a missed opportunity. And I don't know. It's just a lot of bad things in this game. I'm sorry, but I view Trey as I don't view Trey as a huge loss if he's out. The lineup is versatile enough, and Trey is not the best playoff performer by any stretch of the imagination. Steve, historically, you're right. Trey Turner has not been Mr. Clutch in the playoffs, but he has been Mr. Clutch in 2025 for the Phillies. And, if you look at what he provides for this team, defense is average to below average. So, yeah, I mean, that's replaceable. But that presence at the top of the lineup, Steve, again, gives you the perfect reason why you're not having Kyle Schwarber lead off or Bryson Stott. Tell me who the new leadoff hitter is. And I want to know, because that's concerning, what they may do to fix that hole. And I hope it's not number 12. I really don't. I hope it probably will be. They'll probably de facto back to him, because I don't know who the new leadoff hitter is. And as far as his playoff, you're right. It's not been a great playoff run for him in his career, but it also has been the best year he's had in pinstripes. So I do view it as a huge loss. Holistically speaking, it upsets a already unstructured lineup even more, and potentially could move Kyle Schwarber back into that leadoff spot, which he has no business being in. He's been inching his way back up there over the course of the last few months, and this could be the opportunity to move him into that spot. But it also opens up a roster spot. And that's what I'm putting the cart before the horse here. And maybe it doesn't even come to that where you don't need a replacement. But this, we can't have the, day to day. No, I mean, listen, if he's hurt, man, we need to plug the hole, man, and do the best possible way we can. And I don't know who that is with. Other teams would view this as an opportunity for a younger prospect. With this team, it's 2 veteran entrenched. And, if Justin, maybe this is what gets Justin Crawford up here. No, he doesn't play shortstop, but maybe this is just a way to bring him up. Because obviously the Phillies are not going to do anything. Again, it all depends on what the injury is. If he's done for the season, you got a real concern at shortstop. You really do. Because Armando Sosa is not the answer into a World Series run. He's not. He's certainly not the answer at the top of the lineup. And 2, he's not the answer as a consistent bat. So you're right. And there is no shortstops that I can think of in the system right now that you would want to carry. You want to pull up here, unless you're going to do something with Kemp, which Kemp doesn't play shortstop, but maybe that opens up. Obviously, you can move Stott to short, move Kemp to second. That could work. That could work. But Stott could probably go to short, and Kemp could come back up and play second base. And then I'm looking around the other option, as Steve brings up here, Aiden Miller 2 for 4 with a run, stolen base. Okay, Aiden Miller's not he's a converted shortstop, right? He's a third baseman by trade, and he's a shortstop. But Aiden Miller's in Double-A. Again, I mean, if the Phillies are not going to give Justin Crawford an opportunity, who's been sniffing at this organization all season, I really don't think they're going to call up Aiden Miller from Double-A and drop him in the middle of a pennant race. I know that we've done that before, and I know that's how Yohan Rojas got here, and I know that's how Kerkering got here. But I mean, it's interesting. It's a theory, and it's something to keep an eye on. But other than moving Stott to short and Kemp to second, I don't see or Stott to short of Sosa to second, and then bring Crawford up as an extra bat. I mean, because we need another outfielder. We don't, but I don't know. Steve, I don't know the answer here, and I'm open to suggestions. I really am. So Phillies lose 5-4, and as I mentioned at the top, a big day on the network and a big day on this show. It is Sunday, and we are coming down the home stretch on at least 2 different levels of the minor leagues. For those of you that know or don't know, I'm about to drop some education on you. The low A and the high A levels of minor league play are wrapping up their seasons. Matter of fact, they might be already over. The regular seasons might have ended already. The playoffs for both leagues start on Tuesday. The Clearwater Threshers are in. They clinched. They are the second half Western Division champions in the South, in the Florida State League. Sorry. They will face the Bradenton Tigers in the divisional playoff starting this week. Jersey Shore did not. I don't think we'll take a look, but they were in the race, but I don't think Jersey Shore made it. But either way, we're shutting down 2 levels of minor league play, or kind of 2 levels. A-ball is going away today, and we'll no longer report on it. But we do have one more final week of down the Phillies farm with A-ball involved. But next week, it'll be Double-A and Triple-A only, and Double-A only has a week left. They're done next Sunday, and then Triple-A ends the Sunday after that. So minor league is the minor leagues are shutting down, man, and it makes me sad. It really does. As I really enjoy, 1, I enjoy baseball, and 2, it tells me the season's coming to an end, and 3, it tells me the season's coming to an end. So enjoy while we can get it here on down the Phillies Farm Report. We'll have a full one today, but then that's it, man. No more Threshers and no more Blue Claws going forward to the end, and it'll just be the Fightins and the Pigs, and then at the end it'll just be the Pigs. But we'll update you on the playoff races. As I said, Threshers are in. They will be in the South Atlantic League, Florida State League, Western divisional playoffs against the Bradenton Tigers. I'll give you 5 guesses who their minor league, major league affiliate is, and they'll battle them on starting Tuesday, and for the opportunity at winning the Florida State League. So let's go Threshers. But big day nonetheless. Today on the network, we saw the premiere of the Steel City Sunday pre- and post-game show. They battled through some technical problems early on in the pregame. I think they're still kind of battling through some technical problems in the post-game, but they're battling, and that's all that I want to see. And I want to welcome the guys to the network, providing you the best in pre- and post-game Pittsburgh Steelers entertainment, because God knows I ain't providing that. So, make sure you're checking them out. I think the post-game show is on right now. It was on when I came on the air. So make sure you're checking them out as they are new to our network, and will be with us for the duration of this football season. Also, of course, on the network, we are, proud sponsors and purveyors of the Fight and Spinal, this very program And here you go. This is the series everyone's been waiting for. And this is your look at the Fighting's final this week. A couple programming notes. I will be in for Pat tomorrow night, as Pat's still battling. He's battling those internet issues. Made a return for about 10 minutes today on the PM and the AM program, and then spiraled off again into the land of internet issues. So I'll be in for Pat tomorrow night. Steve will have you on Tuesday. I will be switching with Mike. So I will be on Wednesday and Mike will be on Thursday because this schedule was put out before we got the locks, props, and parlays thing kind of hammered down. And I didn't fix it. So me and Mike are switching back end of the week. I will have you on Wednesday and Mike will have you on Thursday. And I am in for Pat tomorrow night. So it's me, Steve, me, and Mike. That is your Mets series in a glance heading into this week pivotal series. Also, the great programming that we have here also includes the aforementioned PM and the AM program celebrating their 7th anniversary. Congratulations, fellas, of being together and evolving over those 7 years. Obviously, that was a huge get to get them back to come to this network, and it's obviously a good thing that we need going forward. So congratulations to the PM and AM on their 7th anniversary show today. They will be on every Sunday at 9, as well as me following you tonight as I will return to the airwaves just for a little bit, because as I said, Monday I will be doing postgame, and then Wednesday I'll be doing postgame. But tonight we'll be back with the final word. We're going to deep dive it all, man. We'll deep dive the Phillies weekend, deep dive the Eagles. Flyers made a trade, if anybody cares. And we'll just kind of do those things that we do on the final word every night, to include the day in Philadelphia sports history, your card review, and your of the night segment. So make sure you're tuned in tonight at 10 p.m. for the final word with yours truly. And then every Wednesday at 7, it's the props, locks, and parlay program with Mike Laro. No pressure sports betting for entertainment purposes only. And then every Sunday or Saturday, or I shouldn't put a day on it, but every Penn State post game, the Happy Huddle will come at you, Mike Laro. They got the Nova. It's Villanova. Penn State versus Nova on Saturday. Then the real stuff starts. I think they have Oregon the week after that. So make sure you're checked into the Happy Valley Huddle. And every Thursday at 7, Kyle Quinn and the Birds Blast. That's our new home. Thursday at 7 for now. We'll see how we had fun last week. We'll get week 2. We'll look back at the Cowboys, look ahead at them Chiefs. In a must-win situation for the Kansas City Chiefs in front of the home faithful. So we'll see. We'll see how we do that. And then of course, post-game Eagles Chiefs next week around 7:30 or so. And make sure you're there for all that. And am I forgetting something? Oh yeah, the attacking third every Thursday at 9. It's getting so bad that I had to do this, folks. Here you go, man. This is our first network schedule. Maybe I should just put this up and read off of it so I didn't forget anybody. But there you go. There's our week in a glance. Big day today. Tomorrow is Phillies Mets postgame and me. Tuesday, just some Phillies Mets and me. Props, locks, parlay. You can read. This is our schedule, but we're getting to a point that we needed to put a schedule out because it's getting a lot. And I want to thank, and there's a reason for that. It's because we're growing. And it's a great thing that we had to do that. So thank you for everybody and all your support and continued support as we continue to grow this thing throughout the years. That's an evolution or a de-evolution. Of what, Steve? What did I say about evolution? I don't remember. A lot going on in my head, Steve. You got to be remind me, Steve, and I'll comment on it. And, of course, a little bit later on today, the Down the Phillies Farm Report. So let's get into the breaking down the box score of this game. Very uninspiring game. Phillies 4 runs on 7 hits and an error. The Miami Marlins 5 runs, 10 hits and an error. Offensively for the Phillies, Trey Turner before the injury was 1 for 4. Other than that, the big day, the big guy. I mean, listen, Brandon Marsh, man, 3 for 3 today. His average is up to 282. The only thing I regret about this whole Brandon Marsh situation is we can't trade him right now because it's post-trade deadline. Why couldn't you have gotten hot like this in the front part of the season so we could have unloaded him and sent him somewhere else? It's a great story. And trust me, I'm I'm as happy as everybody else is because the outfield situation being the way it is was really in dire shape earlier in the season, and his rejuvenation has stabilized that outfield. Nick Castellanos, a 1-for-4, a rare performance, or I should say a rare performance, but a rare sighting of Nick Castellanos in the Phillies lineup today. He also struck out 2 times. Max Kepler cooled off a little bit today, 1-for-3 with a walk. Marchand got to start for JT, who did come in and pinch hit. Marchand was 0-for-3. Bryson Stott, 0-for-3 as well. And that's a putrid offensive attack for the Phillies. Trey Turner did have the home run earlier in this game. So, again, I know Steve mentioned it earlier in the show that this shouldn't be viewed as, or he doesn't view it as a huge loss. I vehemently disagree. I think it's catastrophic if he's gone for, X amount of time. For the Marlins, Lopez 4-for-4 was the kind of the thorn in the Philly side all day, and Acosta with 1 hit. So basically, they just sort of sprinkled some hits around, and really just, or I'm sorry, he had 3 hits, but he had 4 RBIs, and the 2 home runs. But yeah, Lopez was a pain in the ass to the Phillies today, as he accounted for a lot of their offense. Pitching wise for the Phillies, you got Walker, who went 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a homer. 87 pitches in those 6 innings. Alvarado, Kerkering, Meza, and Trevino. The bullpen sort of failed there. Alvarado giving up the home run really sort of was some air taken out of the whole sale. The Phillies have battled their way back, and then Alvarado comes in and gives up that home run. Is this a case of Alvarado not getting that extra oomph because he's not taking the extra, the extra juice? Is Alvarado? Are we watching the end of Alvarado here in Philadelphia? Obviously, he'll come back next year because they're going to give it to him. But I floated this out a long time ago. Is the Alvarado we're going to get now that's clean? Is he not up to snuff? It hasn't really been a very auspicious return for him from the suspension. He's really been up and down, and people can blame it on the fact that he was gone for 80 games, which that's basically a season, but not been a good return. And of course, we're not going to see him in the postseason anyway. For the Marlins, a bullpen game, absolutely. Phillips, Gibson, Foucher, Peterson, Henriquez, and Bacher all pitching for the Marlins today. Phillips, who had pitched the most, 2.2 innings, gave up a hit, a run. It was earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts as he befuddled the Phillies batters, even though he went 41 pitches in those 2.5. Still, when you get shown up by Tyler Phillips, man, I don't know how to take that. Scoring summary for this game: Lopez with his first homer, a 3-run shot early in the game, in the bottom of the first. Then Acosta would knock in Hernandez to make it 4-0 as the Marlins went off on 4 runs on Walker right off the bat. Castellanos would triple in Marsh to make it 4-1. Then Turner would hit that home run in the 6th to make it 4-2. Marsh would then knock in Schwarber a little bit later on in the 6th to make it 4-3. Alvarado gives up the second home run to Lopez to make it 5-3. Schwarber knocks in Kepler, knocking Realmuto to third to make it 5-4. And then Harper ends the game weakly as the Phillies lose 5-4. Phillies on the day left 8 on base and were a putrid 2-for-12 with runners in scoring position. The Marlins left 10 and were 2-for-8 in runners in scoring position. And that's how you get what you get today. 5-4 Phillies with the loss. And now it's up to now it's on to the Mets and a huge series in a lot of different ways. And what are the Phillies going to look like coming out of that dugout on Monday night is the big question. And what is the long-term prognosis on Trey Turner moving forward? So let's get to the Broad Street bottom line. All right, our Broad Street bottom line today is, not necessarily what happened as a result of this game, but it's the result of what could come down the line later on with Trey Turner. And this could be a season-defining moment if Turner is lost for some amount of time. Speak what you want about Trey Turner. I know there's not many people that really are in love with that contract and what have you, but he really put it all together this year for the Phillies and had been the most consistent bat in this lineup. And he locked down and stabilized finally that leadoff position. And with his injury, and he leaves the lineup, you're taking the bat out, and then you're also, once again, upsetting an already unstructured batting order that, God forbid, puts Kyle Schwarber back at the leadoff. So defensively, you're not really losing much there. But still, the ramifications of what happened today with Trey Turner could be season-defining, as much as people don't want to admit to that or accept that. He has been that important for this team. And to not see that, I can't help you out. But Trey Turner's loss today is the Broad Street bottom line, or the injury of Trey Turner for me is the Broad Street bottom line. Again, nothing in my opinion of how this game sort of kind of unfolded or the outcome, but going forward, because it's all about October with me. It's been all about October since April. And this is one thing that the Phillies do not need to lose him for that run. So there you go. That's your Broad Street bottom line. Hey, Matty B, I will be on tonight at 10 o'clock. Let's face it, we had our chances. We have been almost fully healthy every postseason. No whining about injuries this year. I'm not whining about it. I'm just saying that this could be season altering. This is not like losing one of the many outfielders. I mean, or even maybe even Bryce Harper. I just think that what Trey Turner provided this lineup this year is gone on a lot of deaf ears, and the stability he provided the lineup. Again, an already unstructured lineup, he came in and provided that constant bat up top, and now you're taking that away, and now you're also taking away the stability up top. So that's already a double shot there. So yeah, I'm not whining about it, but it's something that definitely needs to be considered here. And I'm not going to excuse it by saying, oh, that's the reason why the Phillies lost. Now, me, I ain't going to do that. But it definitely, you have to look at it. And it could be season altering. All right, let's go. I guess we can do some around the bases today. And then we'll get into our Down on the Phillies Farm report. As again, the last one, really. Well, actually, we haven't done a full one since the FCL Phillies ended their season a few weeks back. Or actually, goddamn, that was like a month ago. Jeez. But it's going to get even less this starting next week. But let's go around the bases. All right, let's head round those bases on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Week 1 of the NFL in full swing. Currently, games that are have gone final. It was the Mariners 18-2. Man, all over them Braves in Atlanta. Not a good day for Atlanta today. The Guardians 2-1 over the Rays. It was 5-2 Dodgers over the Orioles. 10-2 Brewers all over the Pirates. Yankees outlast the Blue Jays 4-3. It was the White Sox 6 to the Tigers 4, and the aforementioned Reds. They beat the Mets, but the Phillies failed to capitalize. Could have reduced that magic number down to 12. Instead, it goes down to 13. The Twins 5-1 winners over the Royals. The Cardinals 4-3 winners over the Giants. It was the Nationals 6-3 over the Cubs, and the Rangers 4-2 over the Astros. Games that are currently still in progress. It is 8-1 San Diego all over Colorado. In the bottom of the 6th, it is 3-1 Angels over the A's in the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox and Diamondbacks are knotted at 1 as they move to the top of the 4th inning. And there you go, man. There is your round the bases look on this Sunday. Quick look at the standings. Let's go to the one that really matters, the NL East. 83-59. Phillies are now no, that's not right. They're not 83-59. That's a loss, man. There should be 83-60. Let's refresh that. Yes, 83-60. Mets are 76-67, 7 games back. This is it for the Mets. Let's face it. If they got any shot at winning the NL East, they got to sweep the Phillies. They got no choice. And really, to be honest with you, all the Phillies got to do is win one of these games. All they got to do is win one of the next 4, and I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be okay with that, but I think in the standings we'd be okay with that. But the Mets are on their last legs. If you're asking them to compete for the National League East, this could be it. This is the death roll for the Mets if they don't come in here and take at least 3 out of 4 from the Phillies. And the Phillies have an opportunity to put the Mets down. They failed to do it in Citi Field. Now they have the opportunity to do it in front of the faithful, and let's hope that that's what happens. So there's your look at the standings on this day. And about the Mets series tomorrow at Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies will welcome in those New York Mets, and it will be Sean Manaea against Ranger Suarez, a 6:45 start for those of you that are on their way down to the ballpark. So make sure you're there. Playoffs have arrived to South Philly in early September. So there you go. There's your look and your look and your look. Are the Phillies allowed to call? Yes, if they place Trey Turner on the IL, they are. Absolutely. And we were talking about that. I don't know. Steve mentioned Aiden Miller, which is a name that's going to get floated out there. I don't know if the Phillies are going to do that based on what we've seen them, do with Justin Crawford. Is more of a viable option moving Stott to short and promoting and bringing Kemp back up to play second, because I just can't seem to run. I can't seem to kind of wrap my head around running to the World Series with Armando Sosa as my shortstop. I'm having a hard time envisioning that. So if Turner's lost and if he's done, what are the options the Phillies have left? There's a few, but they're not many. And it'll be interesting to see what this team does with that. Aiden Miller is a name I'm sure is going to gain a lot of traction over the next 24 hours, depending on how much we come to find out about Trey Turner's situation. But also the name Otto Kemp should come back into some people's minds as well, as there could be a potential chance to move him back up. So what the Phillies do, and if, again, am I putting the cart before the horse saying that the Phillies are going to lose Trey Turner? Yeah, maybe I am. But if they do, what is the next step? I want them out of the playoffs. So Steve doesn't want the Mets at all hanging around. And the Phillies have that opportunity. They really do. They have an opportunity to really hurt them overall in their playoff standing, So this is something that I've been waiting for since they got swept the hell out of New York. And that playoff vibe that the Mets fans brought to Citi Field and the playoff atmosphere that was existing there in August needs to be replicated and 100 times more intense starting tomorrow night at at Citizen Bank Park. So if you're going there this week at all, do us a favor, dust off the red rally towel and let's go. Let's go. Let's get it going. We gotta show the Mets that what happened up there is something that they can hold on to and keep them warm this winter. But that's about it, right? It's going to have no lasting ramifications on their playoff opportunity. So Phillies have another chance, and we've all been waiting for this series, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be fun. It's going to have a playoff-like vibe to it. Now, whether or not the Phillies show up for it, unlike they did the last time, remains to be seen, but definitely a very important series for the Phillies and the Mets. So this has got playoffs written all over it, and I cannot wait. So I wonder if Miller, we've been talking about that, Steven. We've been talking about what the options might be if Turner is lost long term. Does Aiden Miller get that opportunity? I know the Phillies have done it before. That's how Rojas showed up a couple of years ago. He came right from Double-A. Kerkering was making pit stops all along the minor leagues that year. He showed up. Does Aiden Miller get that chance? He's the next. I'm not saying he's the next major league ready shortstop we have, but is the future now for Aiden Miller? And do the Phillies turn that over to him in this situation? It'd be cool if they did. I'd love it. Absolutely love it to see Aiden Miller playing up here. I would love to see any of our prospects play here. And I don't mean the Otto Kemps of the world, the undrafted guys. No, I want to see the guys that we drafted play. Just for that, just for the fact that we see a guy that we drafted, come up through the system and actually be on the major league field. It happens so rare in this town that we actually get an opportunity, to see some of those guys. Bohm, Stott, who else? Who else am I missing? Marchand was drafted by us a long time ago, but it'd be nice to see one of the prospects get their opportunity. Steven says, I'm good with a split. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. And he said he would do it as well. I would too, man. Again, just to see. And maybe it's not what we do for the playoffs. Maybe you just let him play out the last couple of weeks of the season, see what he's got. And then if he gets hot, yeah, you ride him into the playoffs. If not, we bring Kemp up, we stick him on the bench, you put Sosa in at second or short, and you put Stott at the other one, and you just roll with that. I don't know, but I don't know how many options this team does have. Harper messed up with the game on the line. Why did he pull the bat? That was an outside part of the plate. Where was the approach? Take the ball. Listen, I kind of went off on Harper as well. I'm done, man. I've been out on Harper for a couple seasons now. I posed the question at the top of the show: if the Phillies could only retain Kyle Schwarber, if they dump a high-priced contract in the process, would you be on board with the Phillies trading Bryce Harper? I don't know what Bryce Harper provides to this team anymore. I've been having a hard time, other than the fashion and the pandering and all that. I don't know what he does on the baseball field anymore. He's been making a lot of boneheaded mistakes today. Another one off, getting picked off a second. I just don't know what Bryce Harper brings to this team anymore. It's either a home run or that's it. And it's just not happening for me anymore. And I think we got taken, man. That $330 million, man, I expected a little bit more from a player like that. So I'm out on Bryce Harper. And if the Phillies have an opportunity to move off of him, if they have that chance, and if push came to shove, and you could only retain Schwarber if you got rid of him, would you do it? I think it's a question that needs to be started. The debate needs to be started to be kind of circulated. And I know it's not God forbid you speak out against Bryce Harper, which what has he done for this town? What does he won us? I'll give him the NLCS in 22. I'll give him that. Other than that, have we won the ultimate prize with Bryce Harper? Have we? And no, we've been making a lot of excuses for Bryce Harper. A lot of excuses for him. I'm not trading him. Okay, well, that's your opinion. If they don't win at all, change the culture of the clubhouse, re-sign Schwarber. But again, what do you think? Money is just going to fall off that tree in the back there with John Middleton? I mean, you saw him get a little tight wallet last offseason by not going out and making any significant moves. And if you re-sign Schwarber, right, what you're saying to do, how does that change the culture of the clubhouse? Because you're just bringing back the same guy. You're actually telling the fans you're going to run it back again. Now, that's another question, especially when you combine potentially having to re-sign Schwarber and potentially having to re-sign Rio Muto because you don't have any other catching prospects or options. And what do you do at Ranger Suarez because of the uncertainty around Wheeler and now Nola? So the Phillies could have no choice but to handle their internal free agents and then signal to the fans, hey, we're running it back, man. So again, I don't know how you're going to change the culture in the dugout if you resign Kyle Schwarber. I agree with that sentiment to get rid of, to change that culture. But I don't know how you do that with re-signing one of the more galvanizing personalities of that baseball team. Try to find a taker for Casty. Absolutely. And it's not as hard as it sounds, but the problem with the taker, there's a team out there that'll take them. It's the fact that we're going to get nothing in return. And part of the trade, it's going to be viewed as like the Phillies sending Castellanos and his money, because the money is going to be part of this that a team is going to look at and say, okay, well, we're taking on the player and the money. So that's almost like, hey, come on now. That's the one asset we're giving up right now. We're taking on that damn money. The Phillies probably get a throw-in player, some tweener that's been hanging out in AAA for the last 5 years. There's going to be nothing in return for him. They can move him. I 100% guarantee the Phillies can move him, but they're not going to get much back because they're going to want to get off all that money, which they should. Find a taker for Bohm, sign Bregman if he opts out. Nice signing Bregman. I'm signing Pete Alonso if he opts out, man. Bohm, another thing. I don't know if Bohm's not going anywhere, unfortunately. And I agree with getting rid of Bohm. I do. But he's under team control for another year in 26. He hits the open market at the end of the 26 season. They're not going to, they're going to ride with Bohm one more year. I almost guarantee it. I'm not saying they should. And yes, I would love to trade him. But financially, and with the CBA expiring, Phillies would be stupid not to ride with Bohm for one more year. That's just the reality of business and life. Get rid of the daycare. Yeah, get rid of the daycare. I agree. Stott can go to Arizona package free. What kind of pack? They're not going to send Kel Marte for Bryson Stott. And who? What's the other package? Justin Crawford? Andrew Painter? Come on, man. Let's be grounded in reality. Bryson Stott has a same situation as Alec Bohm. Under team control. He's not going anywhere either. They're cheap options for the Phillies right now. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're the right options, but they're the cheap options. They're not going anywhere until they hit the open market. Now, I fully expect Bohm not to be re-signed when he becomes a UFA. Absolutely. But Stott is he's under team control for at least another couple seasons. They're not going to move him. They're just not. He's a cheap option. And they have other designs on some players that are coming up through the prospect. Now, the Aiden Miller thing is an interesting topic because Miller, of course, was drafted and played third base towards the end of his college career. They've converted him to a shortstop, but he can still play third base. Is Aiden Miller viewed in the Phillies organization as the replacement for Alec Bohm after 2026? Probably is. So again, they're waiting on Aiden Miller, basically. They're giving Aiden Miller another year to ripen down in the minor leagues before turning him loose. Scott Painter and another prospect. No. Yeah, he's absolutely a needle mover. It's going to take more than that, just that, to get off of him. All right, so rousing conversation on the program. Let's now turn our attention to the minor league system because it is Sunday and it is time for the Down on the Phillies Farm segment of this show. It's an opportunity for us to one more time, and we're running out of these opportunities, to go down into the Phillies minor leagues, take a look at the week that was, the players that were the highlights, the pitchers that were also the highlights, and sort of just talk a little bit about these teams as we are running out of time. As reported earlier in this show, both levels of A-ball have ended the regular season as of today. The Clearwater Threshers are heading on into the Florida State League playoffs. They will meet the Bradenton Tigers, I think, on Tuesday to start like a 3-game series or something like that for the chance to win the Florida State League. The Lakewood, the Jersey Shore Blue Claws are not advancing into postseason play. I don't think they are. Let me take a look because no, I don't think they are. Let's take a look at the old South Atlantic League. So the season ended today. Yes, the Jersey Shore Blue Claws did not qualify for postseason play. So they are done as of today as well. And then next week, next Sunday, the Reading Fighting Phillies will finish up their season. They are definitely not going to the playoffs. And then the week after that, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs will close down for the season. So we are running out of time to talk minor league baseball. So let's get into it. And let's start off as we do down there in low A to the second half Western Division Florida State League champions, the Clearwater Threshers. Nathan Humphreys was your player of the week. 4 games, 5 hits, 3 runs, a homer, and 2 RBIs. And your pitcher of the week, Luis Avila. 1 game, no wins, 3 innings, no hits, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a 0.00 ERA. The Threshers were 2-3 on the week. Not a great week for them, but they didn't need to have one as they were able to outlast the competition. They finished the second half 33-26, and they are going to qualify for the postseason. So congratulations to the Threshers and good luck in the South Atlantic League divisional playoffs. Now, damn it, Florida State League. I don't know why it just, when I say it, when I think of the Clearwater Threshers, I just think South Atlantic. I'm sorry, I do. But they will advance. So congratulations to them and good luck in the next round. On to Jersey Shore as their season also came to an end today. Arun Escobar was your player of the week. 3rd baseman, 4 games, 5 hits, 5 runs, a homer, and 1 RBI. And your pitcher of the week was Braden Bechtel. 1 game, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and finished the week with a 3.60 ERA. Listen, the Blue Claws went out in style, man. A 5-0 week I don't know what they did today, but they were 5-0 from Sunday to Saturday of the week. 36-22. They put up a fight. That a lot better first or second half than they had the first half, but was not good enough as they did not qualify for the postseason. So we will say adios to the Blue Claws until 2026. And yeah, man, it makes me upset, man. It makes me cry as I won't be able to report or see the little blue crab surfing on the surfboard anymore until next year. So yeah, it makes me upset. But there you go. There's your Jersey Shore Blue Claws. Now let's head up to Double-A, up to Reading. And they certainly did not make the postseason. 26-37 they are so far through this second half, 2-4 for the week. Just it's been a terrible year in Reading. But there's been some good news stories. Griff McGarry's won, and Griff McGarry and Felix Reyes both repeating as player and pitcher of the week honors for the Reading Fightins. 6 games, 6 hits, 4 runs, a homer, and 3 RBIs for Reyes. And McGarry continues to build off of a rejuvenated 2025 campaign. Definitely throw his name into the mix yet again in 2026, especially to start the season with Lehigh Valley, at least. 2 games, 1 win, 8.2 innings of pitching, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a 5.19 ERA for McGarry. As the Fighting Phils will have another week. They have 6 more games left in their season, and they will end it next Sunday. And again, they are not, I repeat, not advancing on into the playoffs. And let's finish up in AAA, where they got about 2 weeks to go, and they're making it interesting. The Pigs, they didn't have a good start to their second half, but they've been coming on lately. Brewer Hicklin is your fielder of the week. 3 games, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs. And for a second straight week, Alen Rangel, 2 games, no wins, 6.2 innings of work, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a 2.70 ERA. Pigs were 4-1 on the week, 33-25 now on the season, and they will head into their day off tomorrow before resuming play on Tuesday. Let me see where we're at here in the International League. They do it a little differently. It's not divisional, it's by the league. So let's go to league. They will enter Tuesday's matchups 7 games out of first place with about 12 left to go. So there's a outside minute chance they'd have to get, they've been hot and they've saved the best play of the second half to the end, but they're going to have to get like red hot, and everybody else above them is going to have to fall apart in order for the Pigs to make a run. But 7 games remaining, or 7 games back with 12 games remaining. It's not undoable. Mathematically, they're still in it, but it ain't looking like it's going to work out for them. But there you go. There's your Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, and that's it, man. That is our Down on the Phillies Farm segment for this day, and it sucks because we are running out of minor league baseball. Baseball is ending. Is it possible for Gage Wood to be caught up? I don't know if you saw this, Stephen, on my on the Twitter thing. So Gage Wood, along with just about the majority of the prospects, not prospects, but the draft picks of 2025 were assigned just recently to the Threshers. A couple of them also went up to Jersey Shore. I think 1 or 2 is up in Jersey Shore, but Gage Wood is one of the ones that got assigned to the Threshers. I think he pitched yesterday. He struck out the side to start his professional career, which was pretty cool. But Gage Wood, I have a better chance of pitching for the Phillies in the postseason than Gage Wood does. He is so low on the damn developmental scale. There's no way he's going to find his way to Philadelphia this postseason. Take that to the bank. That's a 100% guarantee. And nor should he. Absolutely not. Gage Wood needs to learn how to be a professional pitcher now. He's got a rocket arm, pitched the old no-hitter in the College World Series, got all that. But you know what? It's a whole different game between the college game and the pro game, and there's a long road ahead for Gage Wood to find his way to Major League Baseball. Not to say that he won't find it there. It's just not happening. And if it does happen, it would be criminal if the Phillies did that to Gage Wood. It would be criminal, and they won't do it. Not this developmental system. They're so goddamn slow. They make paint drying an Olympic event. So I don't think Gage Wood's ever going to find is not coming up to the Phillies this year. 8BB. Huh? What does that mean? It's 8BB. There you go. But yeah, it's upsetting to me that the minor leagues are wrapping up. A-ball is complete. Regular season's over as of today. Their playoffs will start tomorrow or Tuesday, and AA will end on Sunday next week, and then AAA the following Sunday. So, as the fall approaches, man, the teams are starting to fall off, and it sucks. Absolutely sucks. I mean, it's easier. I don't have to spend all the time because it takes a minute for me to put together that stuff. And now I only got to worry about 2 teams next week, but still, I don't want to. I want to do 5 of them to include the FCL Phillies, but now I got to wait till next summer, man. I'd like to see him call it. No, I would. You know what? Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, folks, listen. Phillies lose 5-4. Missed a golden opportunity. Could have swept the Marlins. Really put themselves in a good spot heading into the 4-game set against the Mets, because that's what it's about now. New York Mets are coming, and Phillies have an opportunity to put the dog down yet again. Will they take the opportunity this time, or will they let it pass them by again? What is the long-term prognosis on Trey Turner? And what if he can't go? What if we've lost him for the season? What is now the next step for this Phillies baseball team? And Bryce Harper, I'm sorry, man. What does Bryce Harper exactly do for this baseball team to earn $330 million? And I think it's a question that needs to start being asked more frequently, because I think we might have seen the best of Harper already, and now we're left with 7 or 6 more years of this. So that also begins, start to kind of a question entering my mind. Let's hope the best for Turner, absolutely, because I don't think the Phillies can stand to lose that. He's best year so far in pinstripes, and he really stabilized the top of that lineup. And God forbid that Kyle Schwarber returns to the top of the lineup. God forbid. All right, I will be back tonight at 10 for the final word with Matty B. So make sure you're sticking around and coming back for that. Until we talk again, you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your football today, and I'll see you tonight at 10. Take care.